Larry Potts is a current county commissioner over in Davidson County, but he wants to come to Raleigh and replace the retiring Rain Brown as a House Republican representing said county. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
After 2 decades as a county commissioner, why come to Raleigh now?
One, the seat was open. That's always a good reason. But number two, we've lived with the results at the county and city level. We're the application of the laws they make. And I felt after 20 years of applying the laws and being of service to the citizens that I'd try my hand at making the laws with the end user in mind.
What issues stand out to you that even with Republicans running this state right now need to be worked on?
Well, I'm in the building business. I've been a contractor for 40 years, so the economy is in dire situation. If you've got a job, you're in a recession. If you're a builder, you're in a depression.
Even now, you say?
Even now, it's starting to come back, but it's sporadic. So we need to work on a tax structure that's business friendly and that helps create jobs. It's not the government's job to create jobs, but it's the government's job to create an environment where jobs can be created.
Republicans, at least officially, the Republicans are really high on what they've done for tax code in North Carolina. They say it's the Carolina comeback is the slogan that we will hear about. Is that true?
It is. It's going to take a while for the effects of it to trickle down to the actual job creation, but it's a great start in the right direction after years and years and years of raising corporate taxes, corporate insurances, corporate fees that they charge. It's a great way to start, and at some point we're going to have to address the mental health system in North Carolina. I work on the county level, 20 years as a commissioner, and the system is broken and it needs to be repaired.
What about it is broken? It's a very complex issue. It would burn all this interview time up, but at its core, what's wrong with it?
Well, the application of it. If one of our deputies pick up someone who's been called because of a mental health problem, we stay with them at a hospital who's ill-prepared for mental health patients. They're there for mostly physical health patients. By the time, sometimes 24 to 36 hours, when we actually get someone to come to evaluate whether they need services or not, the reason that they originally picked up has disappeared, usually substance abuse, and everything's fine. So we've invested the time, the hospital's invested the space, and we haven't solved the problem.
As a Republican, conservative, I presume.
Very.
How do you argue that at the state level, that state policy needs to address mental health when you could open it to the free market or privatization, or let the local commissioners and boards decide and pass some money down, even more money? You could even argue that.
Well, we actually had a great system in our county until they went to the LMEs because we weren't large enough to have one. But the problem's not going away. If we're going to be involved in it, then we need to be involved in it. If we're going to privatize it to actual private enterprises, then we need a set of goals and standards that we can see what they're achieving.
Do you see yourself getting into the Medicaid reform debate right away, even though you'd be a most junior member of the chamber?
Well, I serve on the board of the local Wake Forest Baptist Lexington Medical Center in Lexington, so I'm familiar with the problems that the hospitals and the doctors run into, and the availability of doctors who's willing to take Medicare patients because it doesn't cover the cost of the visit and the operation. So the problem's not going away. We can either fix it or just push it on down the road, but either way, it's got to be fixed.
Larry Potts seeks to replace Rain Brown, but he's running in the Republican primary, a competitive primary for 2016. Thank you, sir, for being on this interview today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.